and alcohol. So we came together um, really quickly, and we did a lot and made a lot of meaningful impact in the community.
Was the main mode of outreach to the Vietnamese community like social media, like Facebook and word of mouth, or were there any other ways that you outreached?
Outreach in terms of getting people to come together?
Yes.
We use Facebook. We posted every time there was a delivery. We would post on Facebook, and then our followers grew, and the amount of people following our group also grew. And from there, they were sending us messages as to how they could help out. And if they had any donations or any extra material, they just reached out to Chris or any of our board members, and we kind of coordinated all of that. So we use Facebook as the main source for communicating with our community.
And what impact have you personally seen as a result of donating these supplies?
A lot of people have said thank you and reached out, and these donations mean a lot because some of the nursing homes have staff that are not getting any masks because there's not enough. So when they're in contact with patients, they could have COVID-19, they have no idea, and they're bringing it home to their families. So our donation makes a big difference in nursing homes. Nurses are now probably having homemade masks so they can wear them, so they can better serve their patients and also be safe and go home and not carry the virus and bring it to their family. First responders didn't have mask at all, so for them to have it, we're protecting them. And making sure we're doing what we could to make sure they're not getting the virus. And so I think that the efforts were definitely most appreciated. And obviously, there's a big benefit because they're wearing masks now versus before where they weren't at all. They couldn't find the supplies or they're not giving any because there wasn't any to give. So I think it was a big impact.
Overall, how have you seen the different parts of the Vietnamese community and different fields of work respond to the COVID-19 pandemic? Like how faith groups and small business owners and service providers have responded?
When you say responded, meaning that step up to help the community?
Yeah.
Well, the churches, I'm not really sure what they're doing, or the temples, but I know they've reached out to Chris, they've talked, and as an organization, they've stepped up a lot in the sense of provide interpretations for everything from the stay-at-home order being translated to any resources. So they have actually stepped up and done everything they can. And they are also a part of, Chris Lee is a part of the, I don't know if it's monthly or weekly meeting with the county executive to address some of the issues in the community. So I think as an organization, we've stepped up a lot more, and we've done what we could when there's resources out there about the stay-at-home order and about how to stay safe during COVID-19. The organization has taken every type of document there is out there, and have interpreted and put it on Facebook so that our community knows how to navigate. If they don't speak the English language, they have the resources there. And then they're also working with International Institute on various issues regarding unemployment issues so that our community knows what resources are available out there. So we've done a lot, I think, as best we could with the resources we're given. And there's more to come. Unfortunately, we just don't know how to navigate. We're going to have to figure that out. I know the county had just announced they were getting some funding to help small businesses. And so our organization has to figure out how to navigate that too, on top of all the other resources that are out there.
So you mentioned that a lot of Vietnamese people are involved in the service industry. Has the community come together to help the people who are out of work or help support small businesses during this time?
Financially, the organization doesn't have money to do that. But from a resource standpoint where where is there going to be food for the family? Like they'll hand out free food for families in need since they can't afford to get lunch or whatnot, and the kids are out of school. Things like that. The organization tries to redirect the community and say, hey, if you need food, go to the urban leagues, or there's a food drive at this time if you guys need food, things like that. Or anything with unemployment, they kind of see what's out there and kind of let the community know in that sense. Financially feeding the community, we have not done that. But there are different restaurants, Vietnamese restaurants, that have been handing out free food to healthcare providers. So that's something that is kind of done on the side. And we work sometimes, we don't actually coordinate, but we, kind of want to know. So we want to let the community know that, hey, not just you, but also different Vietnamese restaurant owners are giving free food. So they've come together to help each other. Sorry.
And what hopes and plans do you have for the community once the pandemic is under control?
That's a very broad question, and I'm not really sure how to answer that. But because I'm VP of Civic Engagement, I hope that our community can come out and try to get registered to vote and really focus on really looking at issues that impact and policies that impact the community, and how can our organization become better advocates. So I've registered to become a delegate on the Missouri Democratic side. I'm hoping to influence policies on that end that impact our community. And they have that process every 4 years, so that we can shape how the Democratic Party focuses and works on issues. And so I'm hoping that I could be a strong voice and advocate on some of our issues, and providing resources for our community in the sense of interpreting or providing free resources. I think our community has a language barrier and we don't know enough of what's out there. And so I'd like to see more of what can be done to help improve that part.
Yeah, so in general, you mentioned that Chris Lee and yourself have been very involved in the local government. How have you noticed that that has helped the Vietnamese community and their objectives?
Oh, it's helped a lot, because a lot of things happen locally that we don't understand and we don't know. I was able to connect Chris to all the 5 of the 7 council members. And so because of that, she has a seat at the table when all this happened, and they wanted to, the county wanted to hear what's going on in the community and what are some of the issues. So that has helped because of that. And because of her involvement, the county has a point contact person if there is an issue that they can reach out to, and I don't think that was done in the past. So I think that her involvement helped out a lot, and it's going to be very beneficial, especially when they're rolling out different programs now to help small businesses in the area, and that she can be a voice. So I think it's more important now than ever to have a voice and to be active and to know who your local elected officials are.
Would you like to mention any other opinions or thoughts that you have as a final note?
No, I think we've covered it all.
Okay, that's great. Thank you for coming to the interview today.
You're welcome. Let me see if I can figure out how to